So once again, good day. Information or ICT used in electronic governance, also known as e-government. So to deliver government services, exchange data, conduct communications, and integrate several independent systems and services. So government services are made available to citizens in proper, organized, and transparent manner through the use of e-governance. So government, ordinary people, and corporate grouping are the three main groups that might be discriminated against the governance principle. So to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. Hi po. Thank you, Dean, for the introduction, and good day, everyone. I'm Jelly Anti Mateo, and I'm assigned to discuss about the e-government business model. But before we discuss how e-business models can apply to e-government, let us define first what is e-government. Next slide po. So electronic government or e-government as a theoretical construct is not properly defined. It can be considered as anything from the publication of government information online to any use of information and communication technology by the government. As we have learned, e-government can be defined as the use of information and communication technology to transform government by making it more accessible, effective, efficient, and accountable. E-government includes range of activities from providing greater access to government information and promoting civic engagement to providing development opportunities. Next slide po. So another approach defines e-government by the help of different stages which appear in developing e-government. These stages are information, communication, transaction, and integration. So this approach suggests that e-government is an evolutionary phenomenon and therefore e-government initiatives should be accordingly derived and implemented in each stage. In each stage, some challenges come to surface and some of these challenges can be resolved by the help of specific electronic business model. Next slide po. So the public sector often tries to emulate the success of private sector practices. Seeking to implement the concept of business model is no exception. Jackson argues that e-government is of similar character to e-commerce, but set within a multi-institutional and public setting with different expectations, financing, and technological requirements. Moreover, Gordon states business models are applicable to electronic government. Gordon categorizes business models according to their features into a number of different groups, namely producer, distributor, aggregator, market maker, and infomediary. Applicability of these models for addressing electronic government challenges will be discussed later. Next slide po. So first business model is the producer business model. The producer model is a business model in which revenue is earned by selling service or product which is produced by the producer itself. Thus, there is a direct contact between the producer and consumer. On the other hand, distributor is business model which buys products and services in bulk and sell them in smaller quantity. So going online has changed the way in which this business performs because by going online, the producer can contact consumers directly. Thus, there is no need for the distributors to act as an intermediate between producers and consumers. If distributors don't adapt with the new situation, they will go out of business. So the main challenge which distributors are facing by going online is what we call disintermediation. This intermediation occurs when consumers are provided the chance to communicate with producers directly. An example of distributor business online is Expedia, which has survived the threat of disintermediation. So Expedia is an online travel agency. Expedia provides its services by giving them more than just ticket and provides accommodation and other services to its customer. So Expedia facilitates to what so-called re-intermediation by providing services which cannot be obtained by buying buying ticket directly from airlines. Next slide po. The next business model is the aggregator. It is a business that adds value by providing one-stop shopping. In this model, conductors buy services and products from different distributors and producers and selling them again in the market. By taking aggregator model online, we can benefit from this intermediation in supply side, which enables them to buy from suppliers directly. So they can also optimize their inventory, hence cut inventory costs in the case of providing physical goods. So one example of aggregator are the event organizer companies. So if you have an event coming up and no longer have the time to search for the different suppliers like catering, sound systems, venue styling, or host, you can directly contact an event organizer companies and sila na po bahala sa mga needed suppliers. Next slide po. So the market maker or marketplace business model. So in this business model, revenue is earned by bringing together the sellers and buyers. Generally, market makers do not buy or sell products or services. They earn income by charging commission to the buyer or seller or both of them. Example of online market maker businesses are Lazada and Shopee, which connects buyer and seller. Next slide po. So the last business model is the yung intermediary model business. Information is the most valuable aspect of any business. An intermediary is business in which conductor collect information and sell them for earning revenue. This information is about customers and their buying behavior. Information can be analyzed properly and provided in ready-to-use format to buyers. So intermediaries try to get more and more users by introducing free software and free internet access. In this way, intermediary can monitor its consumer habits and behavior online. Following the figure presented by Varun shows role of intermediary in flow of services and product between sellers and buyers. So we all know naman na best example for this kind of business model is yung Facebook. Na kapag may naklik ka lang example sa newsfeed mo ng isang product, asahan mo na sa mga susunod na i-feed sa'yo dun sa newsfeed mo is yung mga ads about sa ganong product. So dun din po kumikita yung Facebook sa mga ads. So next slide po. So now that we already reviewed some type of e-business model, let's move on to how these business models can apply to e-government. As I have said earlier, e-government is an evolutionary phenomenon which comprises different stages. And these stages are the cataloging stage, interaction, communication, transaction, and integration. So in each stage, some challenges come to surface. Some of these challenges can be resolved by the help of specific electronic business model. So in cataloging or in the information stage, in this stage, government puts some of its information online and tries to create an informational website which enables citizens to find government information online. By doing so, government starts to get familiar with online business and starts training its staff to become electronic literate. This informational presence of government helps citizens to find out what to do to obtain specific government services. So in this stage, main technical challenge is management and designing information, access for e-government. Experts presents array of consideration for designing information access. This array focus on the public policy goal of initiative, analyzes problem and data management, organizational issues, and users' capabilities and requirements. Intermediary business model can contribute to this stage by analyzing data and categorizing them accordingly. Data about citizens and their online behavior can be used for designing information access. Intermediary can analyze and pass this data to government agencies in cataloging stage. Government agencies can use this information for improving their services to e-government stakeholders. So the next stage is interaction stage. So encouraging citizens to participate in electronic government development is vital factor in success of e-government process. In first stage, government information has been provided online in specific formats. If citizens do not participate in this process, the whole concept of electronic government will be meaningless. On the other hand, involving citizens in the process of developing electronic government will contribute to build public trust in government. To encourage citizens' participation, government has to overcome social and technological barriers, showing citizens that their contributions and comments are effective and transparency in government procedures, which makes which makes it easier for citizens to understand these procedures are motivating factors. So another obstacle to complete this stage is overcoming digital divide. Researchers has viewed two views on digital divide. Um, First one is access point of view, and second view is economy divide in the society. Researchers has viewed digital divide as a distinction between those who have both the access and skills and those who do not have. Defining different aspects of digital divide and proper addressing of these aspects plays vital role in utilizing information and communication technology in this society. So this stage requires higher level of electronic capabilities and readiness. So what business model can apply to this stage? It is a market maker or marketplace business model. This business model may contribute to this stage by bringing together different stakeholders. So market makers may encourage the citizen participation. Next stage is the communication stage. In this stage, government initiates its communication with citizens, businesses, and itself. Adding more features to informational websites is main technical challenge here. Communicating by electronic mail must be utilized in this stage. In this stage, government puts downloadable forms online which can be filled by citizens before contacting government offices. These forms can be sending back to corresponding government offices by post or by person. In both cases, it saves considerable amount of time and effort for citizens, businesses, and government agencies. Also, user feedback can improve quality of services in this stage. More visited web page can be tracked, so more effort will be put in specific areas. It is possible for different government agencies to track user visit to each web page and the time that they spend on each particular subject. This information is useful for improving quality of range of services which government offers, but at the same time, it can be used for also commercial purposes. Main issue which arises here is privacy. Explicit measures must be used to ensure privacy protection in this stage. So experiences from distributor models which help them to survive in online environment and facilitating re-intermediation can be used in this stage for utilizing communication efficiently. For example, increasing quantity and quality of services can encourage citizens to communicate with government online instead of contacting government agencies by person. So in this way, government, businesses, and citizens realize the benefits of online communication. So next stage is the transaction stage. In this stage, each government agency provides full service to citizens and businesses. These services are limited to functionality of the specific government agency, which has been contacted by citizens or businesses. For example, if citizens need to contact to more than one agency to obtain business license, they can do it online. Renewing driving license, filing tax form online, and paying tax online are examples of online transaction between government and other e-government stakeholders. So providing database management system to support online transaction and installation of property security mechanism are main technical challenges here. Authorization and authentication issues also must be addressed in this stage. So changing and improving legal framework to be compatible with online transaction is necessary for this stage. This stage can benefit the disintermediation as benefited by producer electronic model. Users contact and transact directly by each agency directly and without any intermediation. Online transaction brings great saving to users in terms of time and cost. So the last stage is integration stage. In this stage, all government agencies will be integrated together and one main electronic government portal will be accessible for users. So users can obtain all government services online and through this portal, researchers, researchers categorizes integration into two sub-stages. First phase is vertical integration in which local systems will be connected to national government system with functionalities that are similar to each other. So for example, if nag-renew ako ng driving license pero yung first akong nag-apply ng driving license is in Quezon City and magre-renew ako for example in Bulacan, pwede yun kasi through the vertical integration, yung database nga is iisa na lang ng yung sa database ng LTO. So second phase naman is yung hindi pa. Di pa pa. So yung next phase po is yung connecting systems of different government agencies with different functionality. Ito naman yung horizontal integration naman po. So managing complex databases across different agencies and confidentiality of user information are the main challenges of this stage. Another challenge is yung managing consistency in format and user interface from one agency to the next. The function of this stage is quite similar to the aggregator business model. As aggregator provides one-stop shopping, main function of this stage is deploying one-stop government. By completing this stage, ultimate goal of electronic government in the country can be fulfilled and all stakeholders of electronic government can benefit from one-stop government services. So, however, aggregator model does not address the main challenge of this stage, which is the confidentiality. Next slide po. So, the correspondence between the stages of the proposed development model and the potential contribution of e-business model functionality is summarized in the table presented. So in the cataloging or information stage, the challenges are the data management, designing information access, and organizational issues. And the applicability of e-business model is infomediary, which is the analyzed data. So yun, so on po. So to conclude my discussion, there are a number of similarities and differences between government business and other conventional businesses. The main difference between these two is that the nature of relationship between government and its citizens is different as compared to the relationship between other businesses to their customers. As the review of e-business models and electronic government development stages shows, the functional similarities between each stage of e-government and different e-business models are apparent. Electronic business models may not be able to directly contribute in addressing all challenges in each stage of the e-government development model discussed earlier, but they can contribute in addressing some of the difficulties and challenges in each stage. And that's the end of my presentation po. Thank you po.
Okay, so thank you very much. Again, the supreme goal of e-governance is to be able to provide an increased portfolio of public services to citizens in a systematic and cost-effective way. So it allows for government transparency because it allows the public to be informed about what the government is working on, as well as the policies that they are trying to implement. So the main advantage while executing electronic government will be to enhance the efficiency of the current system. Another advantage actually is that it increases transparency in the administration, reduces cost, no, increase revenue growth, and also improve relationship between the public and the civic authorities. But the cons, no, the main disadvantages, no, regarding the e-government is the absence of fairness in public access to the internet. Of trustworthy information on the web and disguise agendas of government groups that could have an impact and could bias public opinion. So I think that's it.